wonder what that could be, and your guess is as good as mine.
We also saw in that match the Element Mystic played yesterday, they dropped a map to T1W, who are looking good this tournament, but it's been a long time since that happens to Element Mystic. Let's see if O2 Blast can replicate T1W's success.
And Kaiser's got his eye out onto the battlefield this time around. Both teams going into that midfield. You see, Doofus coming in, has to be Sparkle.
That is brilliant already. Good pop-up button, trying to push in as they are. This has already been a nice rotation from O2 Blast to get set up on the point.
Right away, Element Mystic now on the pushing side, seeing what flanks can be taken. You have Doa, you have Sparkle coming in from the side.
Nice bump in there. They don't quite get the early catch. Sleep on Krong is maybe an opening as the point unlocks. Kaiser slam dunks down. Good trade back on Sparkle. They need to do something maybe about Alpha here. Doha as well getting very close to an EMP. Might want to use that as the tool to close this one out unless they get the kills already. They don't, so they give it the EMP. Decent catch. They haven't quite finished up the kills despite some members getting low, and now Nano goes down from Myeongbong. O2 Blast want to rally in behind that one. Staying on the point, grab out now, finding Hanbin immediately. Nobody else caught in it, but Element Mystic losing too many members. Doha now down as well on the retreat, and O2 Blast in a back and forth opening skirmish will finally take control of the point.
And let's talk about the problem of that engagement for Element Mystic, because Sparkle went down super early after Kaiser was already taken down first. Doha does get an expected super quick EMP, connects onto a bunch of members, but doesn't actually get the kills. So Element Mystic not getting enough trades, not getting a play advantage, already losing both their DPSs. O2 Blast has proper arrive and he cleans up.
This is where they need to get a couple more ultimates available. Grab out first. Meteor Strike from Sparkle. He was getting super low. Drops it down on top of that Graviton Surge. No kills just yet. And O2 Blast held on for now with those ultimates already committed out from Element Mystic. Huge Shadow, which is massive from Alpha. Good trade back on to Sparkle, so it's not done just yet. O2 Blast, again, very much still in this fight. Strong unhacked will have a self-destruct if they want. Undying committing a nano boost. There's that self-destruct, forces some members off the point, but won't get any kills. O2 Blast losing Kaiser, losing Proper, and now the floodgates open.
And it's a nano boost to seal the deal as well. Undying has been connecting. You see, even after the Shadow landed, despite not getting a lot of kills from Alpha, there was a double bayonet connection, if not more, for Element Mystic, pushing O2 Blast out, who are looking for re-entry opportunity. Now re-entry onto the point itself after collecting 50%. They walk into an EMP soon. They walk into Alpha with the Shatter. They do get a sleep on Sparkle, but can they get the kill?
They're rounding around for it. They should be able to find it. No, Sparkle gives him the slip. Nice bubble from Hanbin as well to keep him alive.
And this is still difficult. There is no sound barrier for Manju. Myeongbong does have a nano. They got to get aggressive, but this is the only option.
The AMP could be a problem. Only gets a couple of members, but it might just be enough. However, no kills from it in their own right. Kaiser low, but Alpha's the first casualty. So stuck in that grab. They don't take too many casualties and fighting back out now. Looking pretty good. The kill on Sparkle. Hanbin unfortunately bumped off the side there by Mandu, and that's going to be O2 Blast. Not having too much trouble recapping.
You just take the initiative away from Element Mystic. That has to be O2 Blast gameplay. And again, go in aggressive. Myeongbong, nano boost, straight onto Kaiser. So much effort put onto Kaiser from EM as well. Trying to shut him down. Consistently hacked, consistently EMP'd. He has the Earth Shatter. Doesn't even need to use it at the end of the day because Alpha goes down so quick for EM.
O2 Blast have some good tools available here. They have the right tools available, I would argue. Looking to push in here is Element Mystic. Grab good damage. Yeah, this is not bad so far. Both sound barriers committed on either side, but no kills quite out. Now we push into that 85 to 90%.
So watch Doha.
That's a good catch on Hanbin. Proper's looking great now, finding Alpha as well. And suddenly they absolutely slam dunk some members off the back of Proper. This guy's a beast on Zarya. Now 95% for O2 Blast might just be it.
And you look at the O2 Blast side, and the first name that pops up is Kaiser. That's the one you're looking at, but realistically, you have to be looking at Proper as well, because when Kaiser's under pressure, you are not putting enough pressure onto someone like Proper, who is looking like now the best Zarya of the tournament, and he's beaming down members, he's putting out a ton of damage, collecting a ton of kills. Doha's on the other end of Element Mystic, trying to get the next EMP available, and we're starting to see from the Sombra-based compositions, from the Sombra-based teams, just like LGE, what happens when the EMP does not net you the win. Doha's going to get you a lot of EMPs, but quantity is not necessarily quality, and so far the EMPs haven't been hugely successful in terms of actually transitioning into a fight victory.
Well, if you weren't aware of him previously, he'll make sure you know of him now. He'll make you believe in him, call him propaganda. Now again, coming out, same compositions either side. The Doomfist, Sombra for Element Mystic, the 3-3 Goats for O2 Blast.
And this has to be a better round, a better map for O2 Blast going on Control Center. Typically, traditionally better for the standard 3-3 teams. Sparkle's going to try and come in though.
That's a lot of damage on Pelican. He barely survives. Sparkle though, a little bit in the thick of it for a little bit too long. So, O2 Blast now looking to push in on Element Mystic, maybe get a few more kills as Element Mystic rush to retreat. They have pulled back successfully.
And the point does unlock, and Element Mystic doesn't want that one to go over early, they want to go in.
O2 Blast will still grab it, also not losing any members on their own retreat, which is just a retreat back to the point, so it is still Element Mystic having to push in with Sparkle back in the mix.
And it's eyes back on Doa, because at this point, usually he has an EMP, which is a very good chance for himself. Sparkle!
Again! Brilliant catch there to close out on him. The anti-heal really helping out. Hunbin trying to do the damage back onto someone, maybe Pelican, really anyone will do. He's got a lot of charge, but again, we cut to Proper, and he's the one really dishing out the damage, really helping to enable those kills.
That's 2 out of 2 now. Sparkle gets taken down so early. And you see from the side of O2 Blast, they do have a game plan. Pelican will try and shield bash as soon as he sees Sparkle. They probably usually Doofus, Rocket Punch into him. They'll both land on each other's backs, but so far it's been Sparkle mostly getting taken out. 6v5, Proper's having a field day, and O2 Blast 41% hit.
This is decent. Element Mystic come in with a lot of ultimates though, and there you go. One of the EMP catches a lot of members, enough for them to secure Kaiser. Rally comes in, but it won't save Prong's mech, so O2 Blast looking like they're going to get pushed out of this one. No, they want to get back in. Proper's finding the commitment. Plus that nano boost.
Got the nano.
And that's the thing, the counter grab from Hunbin made it too hard for O2 Blast to follow up on that. Can't blame them for the effort, but it does not pay off.
And this is where for O2 Blast, losing Kaiser early. Note that was a double ultimate commit from the side of EM. Doha, EMP first, Alpha then lands Shatter. Not the best Shatter, but still gets in the player advantage. O2 Blast believe they still have the firepower through Proper, drops the grab, not really the case. Nano went on the Pelican, which is a little interesting. Probably should have gone into Proper. That ends up costing them potentially the fight.
Now wants to play. Sparkle, they are aware of him. He's got a Meteor Strike, so it should be harder to capture him and kill him. Self-destruct tossed in from Krog, finds out Sparkle. What? Why did I say hard to catch him and kill him? Apparently Krog just throws a self-destruct into the skies and that'll do it. So O2 Blast to get numbers advantage. Element Mystic know they have to back up. They probably just have to see the point in some capacity. Alpha. They do want to fight out best as they can, and that's a decent Shatter. Should help them out, plus EMP laid on top. So Element Mystic finding the window to push back in on the point. They're not just going to roll over as soon as Sparkle gets found out. Indeed, Sparkle back with the team by the end of the fight.
And now we revisit the conversation about quality EMPs. That was a 6 out of 6, as good as you can get it. And off the back of it, they will be able to win a fight. Doesn't matter that Sparkle goes down early. O2 Blast try and engage. Element Mystic defend, retreat correctly, get themselves back into order, and they are able to get back in. This is going to be a kill. That's going to give O2 Blast an opportunity.
But look, last time just killing Sparkle alone wasn't quite enough. Maybe just killing Doa alone won't be enough as well. They're only just on the point now, and Element Mystic can buy some time. Alpha though, bio-naded, now stunned. He's taking so much damage. It took a while to kill him, but he is down, and it's still a big numbers advantage here for O2 Blast. Nice slam down on top of Pelican, but it's still a big advantage for O2 Blast, especially with that nano boost. Has just run out now, Proper asleep for a moment, but got the members on the point. Another sleep, by the way, on Doa.
Should be grabbing
now. Sparkle's to back off the point, and there goes that grab. Not too hot. They get Hunbin, which may just be enough again. If they maintain a numbers advantage, eventually they should start to swing the fight fully in their favor.
This is taking so long. Look at the point ticker, nearly 99%. They finally flick it over. 98 is actually worse for them because Element Mystic can now maybe sneak it away and just take the round. O2 Blast have to have a very good defense. Maybe spawn hold this choke point as well. Kaiser does have an Earth Shatter available. Doha does have an EMP. Looking for some defense. Mandu is close to getting that sound barrier and needs it ASAP.
Both teams, in fact, very close on coming up on a lot of ultimates. To tell you what, this will be the last fight, and it could be an absolute brawl of a fight. Excuse me.
It's enough of a brawl that already you've seen the teams engage. Kaiser looking for opportunity. The nano's already in. It's on Sparkle.
Kaiser receives his own team's nano boost, but Pelican's the first casualty. Yikes, that's an EMP. There is the sound barrier to help deal with it, though. What can O2 Blast do here? One member down, haven't found the counter trade. Sparkle charged against the wall. Does not quite go down. Instead, it's Kaiser who drops. O2 Blast still hold control of the point for now, but they don't have control of this fight. In fact, slipping further and further away from them right now. Mandu next up on the firing line against Sparkle, who still has not been finished off, no matter how many stuns he takes. Now the cap goes over 98, 99, 100. We are tied up on
And look at that,
Tower.
98% as well, which means as soon as it goes to 99 and 100, if you are not touching, it will instantly go over. So perfect setup there, maybe accidental based on that cap percentage. But what isn't an accident is how they're engaging towards the end there. Everyone had ultimates available, EMP into play. And looking on the side of O2 Blast, unfortunately, couldn't quite keep up. Harman getting the Graviton Surge, doesn't go down. Speaking of doesn't go down, Sparkle was nearly implicated, stays alive, is still contributing, and EM hold on. It's got to be 1-1 apiece as we head into Gardens.
It's been a bit of a tough one. You would say that that one was within the realm of possibility for O2 Blast, and that would have just straight up been the map win on Lijiang Tower, but instead swings back Wave Element Mystic, and now O2 Blast only actually have the one extra opportunity, and well, hello.
And this is going to be the O2 Blast that will try and run a different composition. Triple DPS. We've seen bits and pieces of this, but will this work?
Hacked, but not taking too much punishment just yet. Pelican
sniping.
slips. Proper's down as well. This is not looking too hot right now for O2 Blast. Krong's having to pull back. Pelican will get out alive though, which is at least something.
And the respect coming out of EM as well, wanting to change themselves, not going to play the Doomfist anymore, and perhaps looking for opportunity. The cap does unlock. Kaiser in trouble.
Nice find there, and Sparkle on the Sombra instead of the Doomfist is actually having an easier time getting a follow-up on something like that. And they also run down Pelican on the side, so as the point unlocks, Element Mystic, who already had control of the area, will be able to get the cap.
O2 Blast is kind of caught snoozing there. Now a big change up for them as well. It's going to be the whole team going over. Classic 3-3. Ryan goes. EM still on field. Not going to have a chance to change just yet. O2 Blast is going to put the pedal to the middle.
Now, we're going to come back out the gate. Element Mystic, they've got a lot to work with here. The EMP from Dire are going to be available for this fight. If they can start snowballing the macro game based off that, then O2 Blast will take a long time to recover. There it goes.
Gets
out.
three.
Gets three. Might just be enough, especially with that bio nade onto two of those three. That is indeed going to be it for Element Mystic, who do use that opportunity to charge up a lot of other ultimates.
You got to look at Undyne as well. Once again, it's about the Ana players back tournament. We look at a lot of members, we look at a lot of individuals. Talked about Sparkle, talked about Kaiser. We're now talking a lot about the flick supports because Undyne landing Bionades, securing those kills after other abilities are landed in, like the EMP. And you're right, Sparkle is going to change back, wanting that superior matchup. They do, however, start on low ult charge. It's 0.
Yeah, it's actually a big change. Hanbin, Sparkle, and Alpha all going to swap, but they've still got Nano Boost and Unique rather still close to a sound barrier, so that might have to be enough in its own right. Alpha's already picked though. Kaiser showing what he's worth because Myeonbong also has a Nano Boost. Sparkle does find one in though, and staying alive. This guy is an absolute criminal with what he gets away with on the Doomfish.
And you can tell what teams want to put resources into who because Sparkle receiving the damage, getting kills, doesn't make it out this time.
That being said, the EMP comes through just as Sparkle goes down. O2 Blast has still got a lot more work to do here, especially with Kaiser going down. He had a shatter, and ultimate they would sorely need 90%. I think O2 Blast are going to back up and try one last time.
They need Kaiser for this. They need the whole team. They need the Earth Shatter because now finally there's no EMP. But you'd expect Doha, he's probably going to get another one. He got 2 in that last fight.
Pushing on, but this is nice from Element Mystic trying to take an aggressive fight before O2 Blast can get to the point. Doha's down though. This has not paid off the way Element Mystic wanted it to. Self-destruct from Krong as well is actually keeping Element Mystic trapped where they don't want to be. Myeonbong down though, that's a nice catch. O2 Blast need to get this fight to the point. Alpha, Earth Shatter, Pixie whip, they're not able to get any kills. Unfortunately, Undyne may get run down here by a Proper. He will indeed, but Kaiser's down. Double grab means O2 Blast are off the point, and they're not getting kills either. Oh, Krong's keeping them in this. He's not got much health though, and he's only got Myeonbong alive to heal him, who I do not believe has line of sight. Element Mystic going to stay ahead of the curve once again. Get the first map of this rematch.
And that was so competitive. Even when you look at Gardens, it was mostly EM, specifically when you look at the cap percentage as well. Doesn't tell you the full story because for so much of it, O2 were definitely in. Starting up the pharmacy composition, maybe not their best picks. It was responded to fairly quickly by Element Mystic. Sparkle even on Tracer, doing the work, doing the job that he needs to do. Quick changes from both teams, and once we go back to preferential matchups, preferential picks and compositions, guess what? It's actually EM pulling ahead once more. Doomfist, Sombra, it's their bread and butter. They know they want to go up against GOATs. If it's going to be O2 trying to dictate the matchup, they're not going to be able to do so if they can't stay ahead of their opponents on the curve.
We've seen this happen so many times so far this tournament. The lower rated team comes in, they get the first map, but they don't end up finishing out control.
And this one is going so well so far. Absolutely amazing match. We're going to go to a bit of a break. When we come back, more Contenders action for the Pacific Showdown after this.
Огонь по готовности!
Oh, my jam! Don't let me.
And we're back once again for the Pacific Showdown here in our upper bracket match. Our only upper bracket match and the only one left of the tournament so far. It is going to be Element Mystic taking an early lead versus O2 Blast. And so far, I got to say, very competitive. Maybe result-wise, do expect Element Mystic to be coming out ahead, but it's not been comfortable.
And I think that's the, I suppose, iota of hope right now for O2 Blast, who, as we say, this is a rematch of the Korean Contenders Finals as well. In the context of this tournament, that means O2 Blast want to turn that result around, right? You can't expect to win this tournament if you can't even beat the team that beat you in your home region. But this isn't the start that they were wanting, no matter how close it may have been.
And it's about seeing if there is a gulf between the teams, because that's what it looked like when we saw them in that Contenders Korea final. Does that still exist today is the question that needs to be answered, because O2 looking to close the gap. So far, the gap still exists. Will they be able to actually do something about it? Can they win a map? Because that would already be an improvement over the final.
And I think that's what we were really kind of looking at as well, right? Any amounts of improvement is good news here, because as we say, there's the world where this isn't the only time these two teams meet, right? Let's say, for example, Element Mystic, when they move up into the finals, O2 Blast, they do have to take a match in the losers bracket, but assuming they can do that, they then still have to play Element Mystic in the grand finals. And again, that's why I say, in the context of this tournament, you're not going to win it if you can't beat the team that you lost to, rather, in your home region.
And meanwhile, on the other side of that coin, you have Element Mystic, who have lost to kind of nobody, right? They've been beating everybody. Yeah, they dropped the map so far this tournament to T1W, but they're now coming back in today and saying, we talked about this before, but teams on day 2 may be showing up better than they did on day 1. And Element Mystic, better would be taking an 0-3 or 3-0 rather versus O2 Blast, saying, hey, that one map loss, that's a fluke. We're not doing that again.
If anything, it also just says, yep, we are still the team that destroyed you in the grand finals 4-0. And that's really it, right? The pressure is all on O2 Blast. They are the ones who have to step up, both from yesterday to today and also from the not regular season, but entire season, in fact, of Contenders now into Pacific Showdown.
And I do have to say, look, they've done a reasonable job of shutting down some parts of this lineup against EM. When Sparkle has not been having a good time, there has been some openings. Same can be said about Doha. However, it seems like they've never really fully shut them both down. Maybe at the same time, Sparkle's had a tough game, but then when he hasn't had a tough game, he's still been a menace. And that was evidently clear on Garden specifically.
And I think that's quite telling as well. I mean, that's the multi-pronged assault that you can get out of Element Mystic. If you kill one, there's still the other. You have to kill both, and by the time you've done that, they've probably killed one or two of yours. So you're not necessarily any better off in the fight itself. That being said, it's not like O2 Blast haven't been winning fights at all. They've actually won a good number of them and are looking good.
We have to also be honest and say Doha has been connecting better and better EMPs the longer Lee Jung Tower went. At the start we were saying, okay, there's about a 2 or maybe a 3 here. Not the best. They did survive against it. Funny enough, that wasn't always a position where O2 Blast could bounce back from, even with Doha kind of whiffing. We're now going to Kaiser's row, which is not a surprise to me because O2 Blast have been very successful here in the past.
Also not a surprise surprise to me because literally every team has picked it so far this tournament, and I think rightfully so. We talk about this idea of neutral territory, but in the context of this matchup, it's what O2 Blast want to do because that 3-3 can have a bit of a better time than it does on really any control map against non-3-3 compositions.
I want to see how Element Mystic are going to handle the early stages of this, because on A and B, that's where you can expect both Doha and Sparkle to have a reasonably good performance overall with the DPS picks. Concerns start to set in once you get to C. That's where you expect O2 Blast on the 3-3 to probably start ramping up their ability to win. But on the early stages of the map, it's going to be quite telling of how this is going to go.
This is their opportunity to tie it up 1-1. O2 Blast. It's also Element Mystic's opportunity to take it to match point. So, as per usual, we get to ask the question of which way will it actually go. Element Mystic going to stick on the Sombra Doomfist.
And I'm also looking at both the Ana players game, Myeongbong versus Undyne. Has been a bit of a duel in that sense as well. Ana players really showing up this tournament overall. Long rotation from O2 Blast. Looking to see how Sparkle's going in. He's going for blood.
Already found it. That's so huge as well in the rotation. Now O2 Blast have to somehow undo this rotation. Element Mystic know that compromising position they have them in. It's not going to be that smooth though, with Unique getting picked off as well. Now O2 Blast can themselves start rounding onto the point, probably taking some pain, but Myeongbong's back with the team by now, so it's numbers advantage for O2 Blast, trying to keep these tanks topped off as Undyne and Hanbin start getting super low. If they can finish one of these, they get Hanbin traded with Pelican. Alpha finally drops. Undyne might get this mana boost off, but they might just choose to preserve it. Sparkle's going to meteor strike. They're still looking for more picks because Doha's also got EMP. Alpha finally went down, but there's Kaiser as well going down. It's still back and forth, but O2 Blast with the closer respawns will start to take it, especially with Proper having that much charge.
You can see the amount of trades coming through as well. O2 Blast, despite losing one of the members super quickly, Sparkle could not go in. You had an instant trade onto the Lucio player of Undyne, of Unique rather, and for Element Mystic just could not keep up. One player for one player consistently. Sparkle tried his best, and his best this time around was nearly enough, but not enough to stop O2.
Here's a big difference as well. Element Mystic sought to hold on to that, and they ended up committing ultimates to do so. O2 Blast are about to have all 6 ultimates. Our first Christmas tree of the Pacific Showdown.
You're looking at Unique here. Can he get a sound barrier in time? Because Proper's been doing a lot of damage on Graham so far. He's got to be looking for the angle. There's no Diva on the other side. Doha's asleep.
Back on Myeongbong just briefly, but yeah, Doha is asleep. Alpha throws out the shadow, but O2 Blasting good standing here, especially with Sparkle down on his head. When he killed both, often they've got some counter trades. Not this time around. O2 Blast absolutely smashing through Element Mystic here and still preserving so many ultimates. That was only a rally and a nano boost.
And the defensive posture of O2 Blast so well. I say defense in the context of Element Mystic were playing very aggressively as the defenders wanted to go for the shadow. Alpha goes and actually lands on a few people. O2 Blast absorbed that shadow, regrouped entirely, don't lose members, and then reassess and reaggress themselves right back into their opponents. 2 ultimates used, 4 still available, like you said, still in position to keep winning.
This is honestly exactly what O2 Blast were wanting out of a King's Row pick. Certainly not over just yet. Will be one more fight at least before this B-Cat comes through. But O2 Blast, Mandu already picked out. That was a nice grab, but they aren't able to follow it up. And there was a good sound barrier as well, good block as well on that self-destructive. Sparkle just slam dunks on top of Kaiser, and Element Mystic suddenly just beat back what you thought a moment ago was an inexorable tide.
And this time around for Element Mystic, it goes the way they expected, which is to say Sparkle goes in, Sparkle comes out with the kill, Sparkle maybe even gets 2, and O2 Blast do not make the trades that they have been doing so previously. And for Element Mystic, a successful defense finally on King's Row.
This is where Element Mystic can start digging in the heels a little bit. O2 Blast still have a couple of ultimates to play with, but Doha with the EMP, if he can land that well. Element Mystic can use it to charge some other ultimates, especially if he can maybe catch Mandu in that. He does have sound barrier.
Speaking of ultimates, O2 Blast started on a stack, and now they're down to 2, and now they're down to none.
Catching Mandu was so critical. Sparkle does go down, but the shadow was nice enough for them to pick up Kaiser and D-Met Kron. So still the fight that Element Mystic were wanting, even though they did lose some members in there. O2 Blast have decided they maybe want to commit, though. They've gone ahead and got Nano Boost out onto Proper, who is pushing forward with that damage. Maybe wants to charge up a grab, but unfortunately for him, Hanbin's still closer, and Element Mystic also have a closer respawn.
And this could be a cap if EM are not careful. EM have to go back in immediately, and they do so.
That's the advantage in that closer respawn. There's that grab from Hunbin that he has just ahead of Prop. That's a nice shatter from Kaiser, but again, can't follow up on it for the beginning just because they're still in the grab. So looking for the options now as Proper's grab comes out. There's going to be the kills coming through without the Sparkle. Now Unique all getting dropped down, and O2 Plus will find that cap on B.
And we talk about Element Mystic as being a two-pronged assault team. Well, look at O2 Plus. They can add a third prong there. Proper once again proving his worth. One of the top
It's not a third Krong. Sorry, I thought you were going with that.
The proper member here. And he's able to drop it in grabs, able to do so much damage, and O2 Blast continuing to push now. Sparkle dying super early is definitely key.
I mean, I would argue there's like a fourth prong when you add the playmaking potential of Myeonbog. There's going to be a catch though onto Pelican. Soundberry committed very early in that, but I mean, hey, you'd be happy with that. That's what Element Mystic needed. Leverage an ultimate to get some picks, to charge some other tools up, and now they are looking good once again on the defense.
He just walks in and gets two. He's trying to basically prove here that he's worth two members. It's one massive prong and another one.
He's going to be two prongs of a three-prong assault on his own.
Unreal, and now both those ultimates for the DPS players up and ready for EM. Element Mystic undying, sleeping for the time being. O2 Blast, can they walk up?
Yeah, undying but ever napping. It's going to be O2 Blast trying to make the move in. Like we said though, big ultimate advantage for Element Mystic, so that's what they're really looking to leverage into. That is a good EMP as well. They've already found Kaiser and helped Pelican. And part of that as well is the bio grenade that Undying was able to land. Sparkle still just cleaning up kill after kill, and Element Mystic very smoothly maintaining their ultimate advantage.
You can see the combos here as well. You put the EMP over Kaiser and a few others. The bio grenade goes directly on top of Kaiser because outside of his shield, look, there's already no D.Va, or rather, yeah, there is a D.Va from Krong, but he's not able to stop that bio grenade, so Kaiser gets smacked with it, instantly goes down, isn't able to use Earth Shatter, and there isn't a counterplay for O2 so far.
This has got to be the one that they look for something in, but Kaiser's just getting battered about by Sparkle, just one-man army on top of him. When you come for the king, you best not miss, and Sparkle does not miss.
At least not so far. Sparkle wants to prove that he's in fact a god, and what is the king to a god?
He's going to take all the prongs out on his own.
Nearly back on the meteor strike again. Doha nearly back onto the EMP as well, and we said, look, on the C point, O2 Blast should be really in their zone. This shouldn't be where the Doomfist Sombra composition really works the best. On A and B, Element Mystic struggle, but now they're really in their element.
Look, good ultimates available for O2 Blast, but EMP is going to be a factor from Doha. One good hack onto your members means you've got really zero ultimates. Now he goes for, caught in the grab, nice timing. Still gets a couple of members, but O2 Blast are going to be able to close this one out by the looks of things. Alpha getting drilled down, Hunbin is sleeping, they'll just wait to finish him off. Nearly got a couple of kills back to keep it even, but honestly, proper pulling the trigger a bit earlier was so critical.
And you got Myeonbong as well. He was one of the few members that wasn't hacked out from the EMP. Both the supports, in fact, were able to still use abilities, keeping their team alive. Krong didn't have the defense matrix. He was in the EMP, so Kaiser gets implicated by the nade again. This time, though, O2 continue pushing. Nano's in play.
Proper's still rebuilding his damage charge a little bit, though. This is an opportunity for Element Mystic with the other ultimates they have at their disposal. Meteor Strike maybe going to look to slam down on top of Proper, who sees it coming or maybe senses it coming. Still going to kill him though. Doesn't matter that he had the bubble. Doesn't matter that they probably bought him a ton of charge. And now the question is, can O2 Blast retreat safely? Well, in Kaiser's case, the answer is no.
And there's still a decent amount of high ground. We're not even really past that first corner. And this is where for O2 Blast falling back again, running out of time, less than 20 seconds, 15 on the count. About 5 ultimates available. Proper will probably make it 6 soon. EMP will be in play also as Doha nearing that 100.
Element Mystic have had a stellar defense here on point C, and this could be the final one of it as well. Grab comes out, they're not on the point. Absolutely brilliant play from Element Mystic.
And if that wasn't enough, look at that. 4-man bio nade, 4 of them on their back as well. Element Mystic just wanted a full cleanup. There was no way O2 were going to be able to contest that. I mean, they could have touched the cart, but the rest of the team easily defeated in that final engagement. And Kaiser's thinking about this one. What went wrong towards that final push? A lot of momentum once again from A through to B. Heading on to C, it looked very much O2 favored, but Element Mystic, once they got into the zone, they didn't let it go.
And I think that's really the way to put it. Element Mystic seemed to just get further and further into the zone the longer the map goes on. There was already a decent bit of defense on point B an even better defense on point C that allows them to complete the hold, allows them to stop the full cap from O2 Blast. Now we've got to ask, can O2 Blast's defense match that?
You start to see towards the latter half of that King's Row as well, specifically on C, Sparkle start to really get a lot of impact into the game. You start to see bits and pieces of that already on B. He was a big factor, but O2 Blast was still able to handle him, control him for the time being. Get on to C, that script entirely changed. Sparkle was getting a ton of kills for free, 1, 2 picks, gets himself out alive, hardly ever punished. Doha's still getting insane EMPs, high uptime all the time. That's what we know him for. And Element Mystic, not a lot was going wrong towards the end of that game.
Just with so many of the abilities landing as well, right? Like, it's not just the EMPs, the uptimes, it's the grabs, it's the shatters, it's a lot of things that actually a lot of the members of O2 Blast are often known for. Kaiser known for great shatters, Myeonbong known for great biotic grenades, Proper known for great grabs, and Element Mystic, it's like they're stealing your abilities and using them against you.
I'll tell you what, Kaiser's just been bullied towards the end of that round because you have Sparkle just pushing him in and out. Sparkle now going to be the Zarya. At least Kaiser can be happy about that one because he's not going to get pushed around.
Yeah. Is really taking that king to a pauper kind of experience. Maybe will claw his way back on top. On the low ground right now on the defense are O2 Blast. Unique taking some chunks.
Yeah, have to be a little bit careful about that one. Narrowly dodges in Fire Strike as well. And for O2 Blast, they are taking a decent amount of damage. It's going to give Element Mystic the chance to step on the point.
Myeonbong having to heal his own team with Biotic Grenade as well, which just allows some opportunities. But O2 Blast do a good job of pushing back into Element Mystic, who at this point we're looking for Doha to charge up an EMP, but with Hanbin dead, it's O2 Blast's turn to push right in. Look for some more kills. Great Biotic Grenade. Doha barely giving the team the slip, and it actually looks like Element Mystic will retreat from that, only losing Hanbin. That's incredible.
That is, especially considering, look, the Nano Boost was available. Obviously, you don't want to really commit it here, but if that fight went on any longer, if EM actually wanted to commit, that would have been a play, and that's going to be a trade.
Whoa, okay. Kai's going to get judged now. He's going to go down. It is a trade no longer. Does mean EMP's off the table, but look, even then, Element Mystic have a closer respawn. The rest of O2 Blaster not really in the position they want to find themselves. Element Mystic going to try pile on, all in that grab from Proper, but Proper himself is dead, and there's no one else really here to follow up on it without Kaiser back in the fight yet. So Element Mystic, a decent engage, a decent fight, some good early picks with that wraparound grab. They will cap the point.
And eventually that defense looks like a house of cards, and Element Mystic blowing it all over very quickly. O2 Plus not in position. Proper's getting a little bit desperate here, wanting to throw in the Graviton Surge to no avail. And like you said, the Stagger going to make things that much more difficult.
I think one of the things that's so cute about that Stagger is the fact that it's also after the point is actually capped. Usually while you're waiting for the cart to roll out, there's a better downtime here where the defense regroups and moves up to the archway. They're actually still waiting for Krong to come back to the team. First fight is going to be halfway through streets.
And this is where I'm really impressed by how quickly Ian were able to reset after they lost their original member, coming back through, getting that Graviton Surge, and with 5 ultimates available, looking for where Doha wants to be able to strike.
There we go in. A lot of ultimates committed already, and Kaiser is on the worst end of that exchange. So, Krong demexed. O2 Blast already looking very sore in this fight as Element Mystic just kind of leaning in to their ultimate advantage to wipe the floor against O2 Blast.
Myeonbong's got to do his best. He was the only member to avoid the EMP. He even gets the nano onto Kaiser. He's the last one to die. Hits a 5-man Bionade towards the end, but the rest of his team already went down. The rest of his team did get hit by an EMP, then followed up by Shadow from Alpha. All too easy. The combos for EM are connecting so well.
They're still looking good in ultimates as well. The macro game from Element Mystic has just been massive. And they're going to push right on to B without any further ado. Kaiser again already picks off. It's happened in so many of these fights. It's a 1 for, or rather a 2 for 1. Still not getting even up. Element Mystic just looking great. If Hanbin's their only casualty here as they come to cap B, that would be incredible. Again, late Bionade from Myeonbong. Finds a lot of members, but he is just going to go down, and the point will be capped.
And he's doing his best right now. He's landing all these abilities, but his team is losing too quickly. Kaiser's going down super fast as well, and he's not going up against a Doomfist, but he's still getting bullied time and time again. Hacked out, stunned out, pushed to the side. Not allowed to use his ultimate. Not allowed to play the game, and O2 Blast are running out of time and space.
It almost feels like break the thumb and the whole hand hurts. Alpha is slipped for the time being. Shatter out from Kaiser, and that is a good one as well. Can they get the follow-up? Oh, nice counter on the charge, and an EMP, an absolutely devastating one at that. Even Proper's grab is not enough to keep the team in this fight after not being able to follow up on that otherwise great shatter from Kaiser. That is an absolute disaster.
Deja vu, where have we seen this one before? Kaiser lands one, Alpha lands one better. With the EMP, and look at that Element Mystic about to cap through.
O2 Blast still waiting for Proper to respawn now with that late death on him. Element Mystic coming close on some very big ultimates. O2 Blast, they have less than nothing, and they're not even able to get there for the defense. Element Mystic, they are still the dominant force that destroyed O2 Blast in the local playoffs.
And they didn't even need the Doomfist for their entire attacking phase. The Doomfist eventually started working well for them on the defense on C. Sparkle, I don't know how he feels about that one. Doha's being a lot better. They think
Probably
they're
great.
overall happy with the 2-0. And O2, well, that sounds about right in the series. They're not too happy about how this has been going, considering it's two versions of EM. They've actually done better against the Doomfist version than they have against just the straight Sombra Goats version. And Sparkle's performing on multiple picks here. Zarya, Doomfist, Tracer, Genji we saw yesterday.
And I mean, look, King's Row should have been better for O2 Blast as well than what the control point was. So, the control map rather. And I think that's what's partially so concerning about this. It looks like, as we said, the longer it goes on, the more Element Mystic wake up.
Well, that's going to be it for map number 2. It's already done and dusted. We're already going to be into number 3 pretty soon after this break. Pacific Showdown does continue.